Hi guys, this is Joel Torres from Contralona, Puerto Rico. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. First of all, from all of us in the island, congrats on your induction to the Impact Hall of Fame. At least you were a big part of Puerto Rico's wrestling business. Being here in the island right before joining Impact in 2003. How influential was the business in the island for your career?
Wow, man, I'm so glad you called. Puerto Rico holds a very, very dear place in my heart, in my career. Puerto Rico was a big part of my career. I always tell people I was on the independent scene from 95 to 2001 before I went to Puerto Rico in June of 2002. And, I thought I was pretty good when I went there, and I wasn't. I wasn't good at all. And I really learned how to wrestle, and I learned how to work on that island. Those fans are dear to me. Those fans took me in. I was a foreigner. I wasn't somebody that I wasn't one of them, and they made me one of them. And I made some dear friends on that island to this day that I still talk to. And in the business and out of the business, Ricky Banderas, Mil Mertes is a dear friend of mine. We traveled up and down the roads of Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico played a really integral part in me becoming a better professional wrestler. And it's something that I'll never forget. This business takes you to a lot of different places around the world, and Puerto Rico was a big stop for me. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without Puerto Rico, without the IWA, without Dutch Mantel and Savio Vega. It holds a dear place in my heart.
Is there something in your career you regret that you did or you couldn't achieve?
No, to be honest with you, there's not. I'm very, very happy with what my career produced. I have no regrets. I'll never be one of those bitter veterans. Unfortunately, some guys in the business become very bitter towards the end, and I'm not going to be one of those guys because I have no reason to be. I experienced a career I never thought I would have. I experienced success on levels that I never thought I would. I have no regrets. There may be, the only thing I may regret is one or two of the stupid bumps that I took, and some of the crazy stuff that I did. But other than that, I have zero regrets.
Awesome. Last question. Who's that person that has been the most influential for your career?
Wow, man, there's a lot of people, and as I sit and I write my Hall of Fame speech, I realize just how many. One person I think I really need to credit the most is Dutch Mantel. And, Dutch Mantel, a very big part of Puerto Rico wrestling. Dutch took me in when I was a relatively nobody. He gave me an opportunity in Puerto Rico. That's where Abyss started. I did Abyss in Puerto Rico for the entire year before I ever took it to the United States or to stateside here to here. Dutch taught me an awful lot. He kicked my ass an awful lot. He chewed me out an awful lot, and he taught me an awful lot. And I can never repay him. There's others as well. Jeff Jarrett gave me my first opportunity in this company, and so did Dixie Carter. I'd be remiss if I didn't credit them for helping me and giving me the opportunity. And then lastly, I would, my trainer, Roger Ruffin. Not too many people know him, but he owns a school in Cincinnati, Ohio, where I started 23 years ago, and he still has that school to this day. So I would list those people as probably the ones that gave me the opportunity, But, as far as influences, being around Sting and picking his brain and listening to him over the years, having the opportunity to be around Hulk Hogan and listening to him and getting some of his critiquing and some of his feedback. So, I could go on and on. I've been very fortunate. I've been around an awful lot of good people in this business that took time to teach me and to help me along.